Hello fellow creatives, in this video I'm going to show you how to build an underground workshop and dino garage. So let's say you are between levels 10 and 40 and you need a place to set up shop. You could do so right below the starter house that we built in the previous video, which is right above me, or under your own place. This workshop has most of the stuff you will need, but you can customize it and the layout to however you desire, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do so. So really quick, this channel is filled with building tutorials and building showcases designed to inspire you creatively. So if that sounds awesome to you, then please consider hitting the bell icon below the video to subscribe. And with that, let's go look at the materials list. Since this is underground, you're going to be doing a lot of digging, but you're also going to be replacing some of that rock with sandstone and stone and maybe some clay if you want, although I haven't listed it. It's really up to you. And then in addition, we also have several other workshop items. This is how I am kitting out my underground dino garage. You can of course use your own materials, and once you watch to the end of the video, you'll be able to see how I use these. So we're going to go ahead and start the tutorial proper by looking at the existing base that we've built. So this base you can actually build yourself. I made a tutorial on it. If you want, you can click on the upper right hand corner, but we need to find a way underground and we need to align the ladder here with that underground that we're going to be digging out. So we're going to take a look at where the ladders are, what kind of row the ladders are on, and the rows line up with the left side of this window, which when you come out to the other side and you look at it is actually the right side of the window. So I've already dug out our pit, and as you can see, the row that lines up with the right side of the window is the row where there is going to be a retaining wall to keep this dirt in. Okay, so I already dug this out. It is a 7 by 6, so 7 tall, 6 wide, and then a little divot of 4 wide down on the bottom. You're going to need this to accommodate a small dino gate. So the way you're going to do this is what we're going to do is we're going to actually fill in the tiles down in the 4 wide divot, and this is going to be our driveway. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And this creates basically a driveway that you're cutting right into the side of the hill underground. So you definitely want to make sure that it's low enough so that you don't actually dig out the foundations of your house. But once you get this in, you can put in a dino gate, and you got to pay attention to how this dino gate goes in, okay? You can't put it right here, right against the wood wall. You actually have to come out one. So I'm going to do that. And then look at the top. You see how there's a divot in the top right there? If I rotate it 180, you can see there's no divot. We want the divot to be facing us, because if we don't, we'll have a hole in the top when we go to fill in the ceiling, which we will be doing here pretty soon. But let's go ahead and place this. And then let's go ahead and open the doors. And you see how, if you look up, we now have kind of a flush face right here. We can put some stone ceilings across there to cover up this hole pretty nicely. And the way you do that is, first we have to put in a stone floor. So let's do that on either side. Then stone walls all the way up, except for the last bit. I'm going to go ahead and bounce up. I have spring shoes on, so this might take a minute. There we go. That went pretty fast. All right, and then put those right there. Then we go ahead and we put a ceiling right here, and then just bring it all the way across like this. And that fills that in pretty nicely, it looks like. So what we want to do next is the same thing for the ground contour. We want stone foundations. Let's close the gate first. There we go. Stone foundations across the first gap, all the way out to where the grass blocks end. Then let's go ahead and do stone walls all the way out to where the second row ends, and then third row, and so on. Now you have a path just wide enough, once you do the other side, to bring a trike like Tracy through here and into your underground chamber. But we don't have the underground chamber built yet. So what you're going to do is you're going to tunnel straight through to the other side of your little hill that you have created. go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, so we're on the other side. We've tunneled all the way through. As you can see, it's a pretty nice, short little jaunt through. I picked a small hill, but don't forget to dig one down from your sandstone foundations so that you can place more foundations. And of course, don't forget to put a gate on this side as well and kind of mirror the same design as you did on the other side, okay? Okay, we got this all dug out. Let's go ahead and test it with Tracy right here, just to make sure. So I'm just gonna kind of run at it. And it looks like it's too tall, but that's really just the camera angle. You can fit in perfectly. So we just go in, the camera will auto adjust, and you can walk right through. Looks good to me. So now we need to dig out the ladder and just make sure that we did that part right. So let's go ahead and take a look inside here if I can get up the hill. And start by digging down. So we're going to demolish this carpet. And we're going to do this. And of course we have these things, they kind of poke through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these up on either side like so. And I'm going to replace them with ceilings. There we go. Got ceilings. Now we dig through. If I can. Yep, there we go. And whoop, down we go. Let's just dig down. Yep, it looks like it's going to come out right on the edge, which is exactly how we want it. So as we go down, let's dig out one under like so. And of course, one to the side like so. And like this. You get kind of like this Tetris block sort of T-shape. And we're going to go all the way down to just one below floor level. And we can put in some floors. And then let's go ahead and do some regular walls just right up the top of the middle here. Just match them all the way up to the ceilings. And then do the same thing on either side with sandstone walls. This will match the floor. Now that we've got these all the way up, what we can do is now we can just put ladders like so until they connect. And what we can do now is we can just climb all the way up to the second bungalow if you want. You can climb off, jump off like so. If you jump off too close to the floor, you'll just fall right through, and you don't want to do that. So always be sure you climb up a little higher than you think you need in order to get to your first floor. All right, so I removed the wall that was hiding this spot, and I've already dug this spot out. So let's go over the size of the side chamber you're going to want to create here. I'm going to start basically on this far wall, and this is going to be a row, and this is going to be a row, and so on. So this first row, we're going to go 5 deep. This one, the second row is going to be 7 deep. The third row is going to be 8 deep. The fourth and the fifth rows are going to be 9 deep. And then 10 all the way until your middle point is going to be 10 deep. And that is a good note. Before you start digging, you're going to want to basically make sure that this point right here and this point right here and all the blocks in between, when you count them up, that it comes up to an odd number, because that way you'll get a single block that will be a center point, and this is where you're going to start digging your mine, okay? Just right through the center block. If you do it, if it's larger than this and you do it even, then you're going to have 2 blocks right here, and you can, I guess you can make a mine shaft too wide, but why would you want to? I mean, it's up to you really, but that's kind of how I do it. But anyway, you want to mirror this design. It's a kind of a nice curve over on this side, okay? Now you'll notice the ceiling steps down 2 blocks each time. So that's how you're going to do it, is right here along the edge of the beast gate. You're going to want to have the ceiling step down 1 block and then go out 2, and then step down 1 block and then go out 2, and the same thing down to where the curve starts, and it's just a flat ceiling all the way to the back of the chamber. Okay, so that's kind of the basic layout and dimensions, or at least let's work on the workshop layout. We are going to be dividing this into 2 sides. This left side here will be the magic side, and this right side will be more the conventional side. And to get started, I'm going to go ahead and put a hut DIY right here along the side wall here. This will let us create the sandstone we need, but I've already got it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and right here is where we digged out the mine. So I'm going to take this center block, this center point here, walk all the way back. And then I'm going to put 3 of these here, and then dig in here, 2, 3, and then put 3 of these here. And then we're going to put some staircases right here. And this is just going to be so that we can easily get up into kind of the garage portion. Okay, so now that we have this, what we need to do is start placing our stuff. So let's work on the conventional side. We've got a smelter here, and you can place the smelter down here, but the whole point of the dino garage is to be able to bring Tracy in full of materials, park her right here, and then be able to offload directly into the smelter. And if the smelter's down here, you can't actually reach it. So what we need to do is actually build up a small platform, and I'm going to use these sandstone floors to go ahead and do so. But like I said, if you don't have enough materials for these, you can use rock and replace it later. Everything floats, so it's just fine. You can go all the way to the side, and you're also going to duplicate that look over here on the magic side as well. So let's go and do that now. Now that we have this, what we can do is we can replace the smelter. We can place the smelter right here. And then we're going to need storage. So let's go ahead and take some regular storage boxes. You can, of course, use any kind you want. I'm going to rotate them so that the knobs on the front are facing towards me. And I'm just going to place them here. You should have enough room for at least 6 of them if you're building the same size that I am. So you can, of course, go any size you want. So let's go ahead and place our workbench, and I'm going to place it right here. I've already gone ahead and placed the sandstone foundations in because you need those to be able to place some of these items here. So we got the workbench here. Let's put the firearms workbench right here. Let's put the bookshelf right here, and it's going to offset, but that's okay. Oops, need to turn that around. There we go. And of course, you're going to want some places for some mortars and pestles. So let's put one right there and one right there, like so. So let's go ahead and take a look at our handiwork here. And as you can see, it looks pretty decent. So let's go ahead and start working on this side. So on this side, what we're going to do is we're actually going to place our storage cases first. And I'm going to have them facing toward me. And since I have room for 6 of them, I'm going to put 6 of them here. And then we have a little room for a feed pot. So the feed pot is a little tricky because it's centered on a 3x3, which is a little annoying, really, but we can make it work by putting some sandstone floors right across here. And that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. So let's go ahead and work on adding the workbench and stuff. So let's add our magic workbench right here, right alongside the storage chests. And then our inscription table, that can go right here. Let's add our alchemy stove right there. And then let's go ahead and do our decoration hut. And let's put that right there. There we go. Looks pretty good, but there's one more thing we need to add in addition to the floor, and that's the cooking stove. So to make this work, I'm going to go ahead and put it like so right here on this spot. And this way you can still walk through here to your mine, get through here, and you can still walk around here and still get around this corner here. So that's kind of the perfect spot for it, I think, and it looks pretty good. So the next step, what we want to do is start decorating the walls. But first, I have a little thing that I want to do. I want to shout out Cthulhu. Yes, the Lord of Darkness has subscribed to me on Patreon. It's really amazing. I didn't know that he cared that much because, you know, his ways are mysterious and Cthulhu, Wrigley, and blah, blah, blah. But he found me on YouTube only a few weeks ago, and he told me that he wanted to become a patron within 2 days of his finding me because he resonated so well with my message of inspiring creativity in others. And you can be just like him, Lord of Darkness and all. And if you head to patreon.com/SWChris and check out the subscription tiers, godlike powers and extreme carelessness may not come with the package, but hey, it sure makes you feel powerful, so go for it. All right. So the next step we need to do is, of course, fill in the floor. You will do that by creating sandstone here in our hut DIY. So create a bunch of sandstone floors and then just kind of dig out the floors and fill this in. So this looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Anyway, let's go ahead and start on this next bit. So this row here of rock needs to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of it like so. And we're going to replace it with stone floors all the way across, except when you get to the stairs. When you get to the stairs, let's use sandstone floors just to create a sense of continuity between the pathways, and then go back to stone floors for the other side, which look great. And then let's do some glass walls, glass fences all the way across to the edge right here and on the side as well. Now that we have our fences in, oh, hello, male pteranodon. Are you going to come in here? Are you just looking around? Okay, well, now that we got our fences in, we can go ahead and fill in this with stone foundation at the bottom and then regular stone walls all the way to the top. And this would be good enough. However, you know, I kind of want to add a little artistic expression to this. And you can do whatever you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this block out right here. It's right on this center line of our base. And I'm going to start right here. And then I'm going to go up at an angle, like so. And then it's going to bounce off the top. And then come down like this. And go up here until we hit the gate. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, except I'm not going to take any of these blocks out. So that's going to go, that's going to stay, that's going to stay, that's going to stay. And this is going to come out. And then we go down like so. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and replace it with these nice fine stone walls that you can make over at the DIY hut, or is it the decoration hut? It's one of the two. Till we have a nice pattern just like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the walls around the edge here. So this doesn't look half bad. I went ahead and did the pattern all the way around like I said I would. I had to get rid of this hut DIY, but it's really simple to recreate. Doesn't take many materials. So you may have to do that for a couple of these, like that workbench, to get blocks in behind them because they're obstructed otherwise. But otherwise, it should work fine. But on this entrance to the mine, we're going to want to set it apart and point it out and draw our eye to it with some contrast, just like we did with the ladder over there. So let's go ahead and add 3 sandstone foundations and then ring the entrance with this sort of thing, like so. And then let's go ahead and build this up. We'll block it off temporarily, and then we will go ahead and pick these up so that we have a nice ring of brick right around the edge. And this will allow us to go ahead and put in some regular brick on this side. In which case, to continue the pattern, we may want to take these out and replace them with the fine stone walls, like so. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself, and then we can just go ahead and place our hut DIY back in. Now to the ceiling. So, yeah, these need a little help, and if you are like me, you may have miscalculated. And, oh, you know I'm getting creative. I'm just going to cheat. Up here, we have this row of grass blocks. And if you're in survival, you know if you destroy these, you can't get them back. And we kind of want to preserve the grass. That's what I want to do. So what I'm doing here for my version, for yours, you may want to dig a little lower than I did. But for my version, I'm going to leave this dirt here, but I'm going to use a block type that hasn't... that kind of blends in with it, right? And it's the sandstone ceiling, which actually is pretty nice because once we get this all filled in with that stuff, it's going to create a nice little Oreo kind of sandwich effect where we have kind of the light layer down here, the middle layer will be the gray stone, and then we'll have another top layer of sandstone, which will be a nice little connective tissue for, let's say, that thing, that ladder. So let's go ahead and get rid of all the dirt here, minus the dirt that's exposed. And let's see how it looks. Okay, truth be told, that didn't work out too well. So what I ended up doing was I ended up replacing these sandstone ceiling blocks with stone ceiling blocks. And I think it works out. Oh, I'm a little stuck here. I think it works out quite a lot better because when you first enter, it doesn't immediately pull your eyes to the ceiling. These are just way, way too detailed, it turns out, and way too colorful. And really the focus should be on the workshop below. So what we're doing is basically this. Sandstone up here and sandstone down here. And then for the stair step portion, basically stone ceilings in the middle. So this workshop, one final note, you can customize this however you want. I know I don't have everything in here you could have. In fact, let me just show you where you can put your Pix block container. This thing right here, I've just gone ahead and just stuck it right there. So if you want to add one, that's where you can add it. This wall is also just kind of full of little spots and stuff that you can add stuff in, like a feeding trough if you want to keep live animals in here. It's really up to you. Really up to your artistic design. That's really what this channel is all about, is being creative and showing you how to be creative, because people love creative people. And well, you know, little bit of personal story here. I didn't think I was very creative way back when, and so that kind of tells you where I thought I stood with others. But I did discover that I actually was pretty creative, and I want to help you discover your creativity and learn to use it well too, because I believe everybody has that. So we do tutorials and building showcases in video games like ARK and PixARK. So hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button to stick around, and then become a little more creative by clicking on one of the videos on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, go make something awesome. Bye.